Lord knows there's got to be a better way. What is up, you guys? Sage here, and I titled this one very, very interestingly, very specifically that because I think that's the one interesting gift that I've received and that I have is that's always been the question or the thing that gets me to just iterate. There's something that Patrick Bet David says. Patrick Bet David, $100 million guy and multi $100 million, probably around $500 million, heading towards B. Same as my for my other hero, Alex Ramosi, both heading up there. But Patrick Bet David has the thing about reinventing yourself, and the ability to reinvent yourself is a very great predictor of success. And I think my ability to reinvent myself comes from that gift from God to me, which is I constantly think to myself, Lord knows there's got to be a better way to get this done, right? I know you saw last video. I know you saw that I was absolutely cooked. I was minced, bro. It was late night. My allergies are acting up. My eyes are red, bloodshot. I'm not getting sleep. And after that, I go, Lord knows there's got to be a better way, right? Which is at first I was filming during the day, and as I'm filming during the day, I realize that there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of this and that. I should probably film at night, right? Which means you can just move it on and then, yeah, get a little bit of coffee in your system, buck it up, take it, bucko. You can do this. And then I did that, and it was cool because I was doing the thing, and then I got my reading in before I went to sleep. And that was working for a while until it didn't, because obviously if you keep pushing that back into the latter end of the day, sometimes the things you're doing during the day congest, and they don't really get done, so you may need to push things back and back and back, and then I was ending up not reading, not getting my reading done. And I said to myself, Lord knows there got to be a better way. Hadn't found it yet. I was like, nah, let me just get it in. Let me just get my reading in during the day today, which I did just now before I came out here and recorded this. And as I'm getting my reading in, I was finishing off on the very last chapter of $100 Million Leads by Alex Hormozy, and he's talking about sleeping earlier, you know, and then I was like, this is it. This is the better way, right? In terms of myself, which is it was in a larger story, which is another gift of mine. Is just isolating things and really just extracting them and making them very applicable to whatever I may be going through in the moment, or whatever the situation warrants. Is even within what people say. Usually, the magic I find is not in their main point, but in the little things that they weave in between, the little isms that they have that show their core beliefs. Um. So yeah, Lord knows there's gonna be a better way. I say to myself, oh, this might be it, which is if I were to move my sleep schedule and I were to sleep earlier, period, I think I would get a lot more done and I would be a lot more productive, because that's what he talked about in the book, and that part that I was in, which is there's no magic in sleeping earlier except for it is being able to do a lot of condensed work, uninterrupted, a lot of productive work uninterrupted immediately after a lot of sleep, which I was like, oh, that's what was wrong with my thing. And that's why I couldn't get my reading done and I couldn't really check off, is because I'm going off of sleep deprivation and going into the later hours of the day, of the night, whatever the case may be. And I don't mind going until way, way late, right? Because I do have that ethic in terms of work. But the thing about that is now you get used to doing that. And even on days when maybe I'm not shooting, I'm editing, I may finish my editing sooner. And then my sleep schedule is still wanting to go deep into, and then I end up watching like whatever. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? Is that it would actually be a lot more productive, and you'd actually use your time around the clock a lot better if you, instead of setting, and this is a thing that he talks about outside of the book that I thought of, which is instead of setting an alarm to wake up, you set an alarm to sleep, right? And at first when he was just talking about like just sleep patterns, I was like, whatever. But when you think about it in terms of solving for productivity, it does make a lot of sense to want to wake up earlier, for example, to get my reading done for myself, to actually write the things that I need to write, because I found myself falling behind on creating the content as well, because I really like to be as productive as possible, and I found myself just, I don't know, not uninspired, but just unable to find those moments in time to actually stop and say, oh, this is a moment, okay, this is a lesson, let me. And the reason for that is because I'm running the company now. Between, I think, around noon ish or just before noon is when the client calls will start coming in, or I will actually contact them, and I want to get the daily things done that need to happen in order to start seeing productivity. And I believe as long as we hit those daily marks and we continue to hit them, then the next thing will present itself, and then we'll keep on going. We were striking the iron while it's still hot, and continuing to heat it up, and going with it, going with it, going with it, and it's really being something beautiful. But I'm doing that. I recently got back into the training because I have a bit of a, I'll call it a home gym. It's a little bit more modest than that, but I'll call it what I want to call it because I can see it already, in my Camps Bay villa with the home gym on the first floor. But anyway, so yeah, I recently got back into training full time. So, and I like to train every day, so it's training every day. It's me having to hit my marks in terms of the content creation. I'm either recording, I'm editing, or I'm writing the scripts or whatever the case may be for the content that I'm going to make. But I like to make progress every day towards the things that I want to get done long term, right? So within that, the reading, you can put it under that bucket as well. um Daily activities in the company, and then training. That's it for me, honestly. If I can get those things done, then I've had a good day. I've had a productive day. That's a lovely day for me. Um, so with that being said, yeah, it's just realizing that if I can start setting the alarms for time to sleep and being very strict about that, then there's a time of night where you just cut off. You make 100,000% sure that you get done what you need to get done, right? And then when you hit that cutoff, it's very strictly saying, okay, no more after this, you know? Very strictly saying no more after this. You shut it down, you shut it off, you sleep. And I think that will in turn lead to less time being spent on entertainment and stuff like that. Um, and you just shut things down, right? Boom, you're gone. You sleep all the way through, and then it rolls around to that time, that early time that you end up waking up, right? But then you wake up at that time, and you'll immediately start being productive. You start hitting those marks, you start boom, 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 which is what I do anyway. But I think, like he said, and I don't know why it only hit me then. I guess hey, bro, sometimes sometimes we're a bit slow as people. I don't know why it only hit me now, but you literally just get more time, right? I think me getting into the habit of waking up and working immediately first was important for me to understand the value of having more time, right? Of having slept more, and then being super energized, then immediately getting up and running, and then having more time to actually run into. That's a lot more runway, and the more runway you have, the bigger the plane you can launch, right? So don't want to make today's too long. Just wanted to leave you guys with that. Number one, Lord knows that there has to be a better way, meaning continue to reinvent yourself. And I feel that that's what had gotten me from. Are you gonna take it there? No, we should. That's what had gotten me from going to high school to feeling like, I don't know about this uni, man. I really, really don't know. It just, I did the math. I did the math financially. I did the math in terms of time, return on investment. It just mathematically didn't make sense to me. And so I said, okay, I don't think we're going to do that. Well, what other options do we have? Well, we have this, and we've already put this much time in, and then boom, we do that, and then we say, okay, we're going to do this personal training thing. We do this personal training. Okay, we have this rugby thing. Okay, let's run with these two things, and then we run with the personal training. It's like, I just don't know. I'm not the clientele, the client list not coming quick enough. And it's not me, it's not the information, it's not the product that's the problem, because my product is fantastic. Like, I've literally gotten myself to this stage, and I'm a physical specimen at this point. So what is it? Lord knows there has to be a better way. Rugby opportunity comes up, go with that opportunity, work with it, work with it, work with it. I'm like, I see it. I see it as a vehicle. I see that you can crank the volume knob on this, but Lord knows there has to be a better way for me. There has to be a vehicle that I can get into specifically that would be more suited to my skill set. You know, so it's constantly reinventing yourself based on how you could fully and best utilize your thing. But another very important thing is, once you found that thing, you stick to it. That's a very, very important one. And then last point is the power of setting that alarm clock, not for the wake up time, but for the time to go to sleep, and then having the strictness here and the discipline with like the strictness toward yourself and the discipline within yourself and the discipline for the goal, to say to yourself, okay, this is it. You know, this is that time. We're shutting it down. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm gonna turn this thing off, and it's gonna suck during the first day, but eventually I'll get into the habit, and it is a part of that hero's journey. A very big part of that hero's journey is being able to do the things that are not interesting to anyone, including yourself, and let go of the things that are interesting to other people, including yourself. Meaning, do the boring work, you know, chop wood, carry water, go to bed early so you can wake up early and be more productive. Um, this is the price that we're paying to be exactly who we want to be. With that, I'd like to thank you for watching. Um, there is a video that I'm gonna put up here. It's a fantastic video. It's my most recent video. I was crying because of my allergies, not because I was. So bear with me. It was still a pretty cool video, and it's the last video before I realize this now that I'm gonna start sleeping earlier. And yeah, I guess I'll let you know when the stats are in. If you do want to show your support for this channel, then please do subscribe. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I have been Sage, signing out.